history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it?
History, history.
Now we going back, breathing on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history? History.
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it?
History, history.
Now we going back, breathing on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history?
History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know your history? History.
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it?
History, history.
Now we going back, breathing on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back. Heathen on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back. Heathen on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our Father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back, he done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me, laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now, got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching, yeah. You hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back.
We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way.
Searching for the road to the way back.
We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back, he done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me, laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now, got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching, yeah. You hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back.
We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way.
Searching for the road to the way back.
We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know your history, history, history?
Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back, he done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me, laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now, got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching, yeah. You hear I'm searching.
You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching.
Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history?
Hey, welcome back. We are back. You are now tuned into
Our Hidden History radio show.
We're back. We're back. All praises to the Lord. Let's just jump right into it. We are in the rise of Rome, the fall of the Hasmoneans, and so forth. We touched on the Galatians origin last week. It's going to be a bit of a part 2 regarding the Galatians. I want to just touch on that really quickly before we jump into the rise of Rome, seeing as how it's relative. So real quick, give me not the blue highlight one, but the other one. The Anglo-Saxon, that one with the page. I want the page. Now, if y'all are familiar, I had touched on the Scythians way back, but for some odd reason, we keep researching and digging, and we just keep running across the Scythians, man.
Right.
We keep coming across them over there. They are a reoccurring people. So I thought you guys might like this information regarding the Scythians. You know, regarding Paul mentioned them. You know, there's obviously a vast reason behind it. So real quick, blood, you make the bigger, a little bit bigger, please, and just cut the top off. Don't need the top.
No,
not that part, not that part. Move it in. Move it in some. Right there. Just move it up if you can. Up. I mean down. There you go. Right there. So we're going to read that here from this book. Here we got the migrations of the Asar as Angles, Saxons, Celts, Jutes, Danes, etc. into Britain. Go ahead.
From northwest Europe, the Israel tribes gradually migrated into Britain as Angles, Saxons, Celts, Jutes, Danes, etc.
There you go. The Israel tribes gradually migrated into Britain as Angles, Saxons, Celts, Jutes, and Danes, etc. So I went over this way back during the time of Hannibal and them. A lot of Northern Kingdom were heavily involved in migration. They were heavily involved in the migrations. So the Israel tribes, primarily Northern Kingdom and Southern eventually after Babylon fell, they gradually migrated into Britain as the Angles, the Saxons, the Celts, Jutes, Danes, etc. So a lot of these white folks say, oh, yeah, the British Israelites. But they ain't talking about you. You white folks, you no damn Israelites, man. Y'all going to slavery. Y'all Edomites. That's who you are.
That's right.
You're not Israelites. So you got this thing called this British Israelism, I believe they call it. Forgot what it's called. Where they try to say the 12 tribes migrated into Europe, I
Yeah.
believe. And they say that we're the black counterpart of that. But the reality is, listen, the reason why those white folks are saying that is because they have information or history books that point to the fact that Israel migrated to these lands. But here's the point. We're going to go into the books to point out what color they were and see if it fits them or fits us regarding these Celts that migrated to these British Isles. Remember I mentioned King Arthur, okay? Arthurus ap Turig. He was a Silurian. He falls under the category of Saxon. He falls under a Celts, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
He falls under the
From
category of Celts.
All the same people.
They're all the same, just different names. It's all Israelites, but that's what they're called, the lost 10 tribes. Because the northern kingdom, they were gone. They were cut off and scattered all over the place. Judah, most of Judah returned, and remnants of Ephraim returned as well. Northern kingdom returned, but the majority of the 9 or 10, if you include Dan, are lost and scattered and took upon themselves foreign names and titles. A lot of them. Yes, Cap.
Hey, Deacon, now going back to what you're saying, British Israelism.
Yes, that's it.
It's also called Anglo-Israelism.
Yes.
It's a pseudo-archaeological belief
It's not pseudo. Pseudo means false. It's not pseudo. But go ahead.
that the people of the British Isles are genetically, racially, and linguistically the direct descendants of the 10 lost tribes of ancient Israel.
Yep.
So with roots in the 16th century, British Israelism was inspired by 19th century English writings such as John Wilson's 1840 Our Israelitish Origin. So going back to what you were speaking about before, they definitely came across these books
Yeah, they did.
and associated. So, oh, we're the Israelites.
What year was that again?
This was in 1840.
Now, the books we have predate that 200 years, 100 years. So it's not that date. It's way earlier. The books we have are dated earlier than that point this information out. And I brought these books out, okay?
Hey, D, that's why in a lot of the books, the British writers that's writing the books, you see the possessive our forefathers.
Yeah, they'll say our,
you know
like
what I mean?
it's them. But it's not them. Those are the white folks that eventually, when we're the ones that came in there and intermingled and conquered and pushed out Japheth. And then Esau came in later on and intermingled with us or conquered us out of there and pushed us out as well. It's like a shift. It's like they were taking shifts. That's Japheth's inherited land. Then Jake came in, we came in, you know what we do. We come into a land, we take over, you know what we do. We know how Jake do. Move up in there. I'll give you an example. My family's from the Bronx, New York. And my grandmother and my grandfather moved into the Bronx area. There was a bunch of white folks saying, you niggas, get out of here, nigga. And get here, nigga, every day. And it was the hood. It was a project. It was white projects. And white folks would call my grandfather and my grandmother nigga all the time. And there was this building that was being constructed. The building that I eventually moved in, that my family eventually moved into, was under construction. And there was black people living there and white folks living there, but mostly whites. And my grandfather told that his neighbors, one day we're gonna move in that building over there. They was like, get out of here, you ain't moving out of here, you ain't leaving here. You're gonna stay here with us and be called nigga like us. My grandfather said, okay. So the building was being constructed. It's a 21-story building. Deacon Asaph and I lived in that same building together. We lived in that same building together. We were neighbors. So that building was under construction. And when it was complete, my grandfather and grandmother were one of the first tenants to live there. So the black people, the neighbors, were shocked that he left, that they actually went to the building to see if our family actually left the hood, because they were surprised my grandfather, we out of here. But my point is that the white folks that were living there would call my grandfather and my grandmother nigger, and my mom and her siblings niggas all the time, because it was a predominantly white area with sprinkles of black folks. Now it's completely hood. There's no white folks there. It's niggerized. There's gunshots everywhere. It's terrible.
Deacon, your other side family, too, your father's side, I believe, migrated to Texas as well, right?
Yeah, they came from North Carolina and they migrated over to Texas. Right.
Oh, it's from North Carolina?
North Carolina to
okay,
Texas.
Okay.
North Carolina to Texas.
Was it from Mexico?
No, they're not from Mexico. From North Carolina. The hell is this? Anyway, I'm Judah. Hey, listen. So, yo, you know what? I ain't got time for y'all.
Wow, man.
I ain't got time for y'all, man.
Hey, I knew where Cat was going.
I knew he was going with that
I was
shit,
going to
man.
follow up.
I
I
knew
was
he
going
was-
to follow
no,
up.
you couldn't
man.
do it,
I
man.
couldn't do it.
You
It
couldn't
didn't go
do
the way I
it.
wanted to go.
Yo, it didn't go the way I wanted to go. It was in North Carolina.
No, North Carolina.
Hey, Deacon, these are cookout open arms, all right?
Huh?
Issachar got open
Nah,
arms.
no, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Oh, man. Nah.
Oh, that's funny.
Go ahead. Sorry. D.
Nah. Thank you, Cap. Thank you, officer. Thank you. But anyway, so the point is that when Jake moved into an area, even where I live at currently, it was the suburbs, and when black folks started moving into white neighborhoods, white folks started to establish what you call suburbs, where they separate themselves from among black folks, and they want to live there. Then black folks found out that it's peaceful where white folks is at, so we went over there. Then the white folks moved again. They became predominantly black. So my point in all of that is that black folks, we tend to move in, we take over. That's how we do. So in the instance of Japheth had took over Europe, and Jake went up there, and we mingled with them, and we took over. Then a white man comes along, gentrification, he comes in, and he takes over and moves us out. Same thing, it shifts. So in the instance of this particular context here, Japheth is here first, then Northern Kingdom comes over there and takes over. In this instance, then later on, Edom takes over. To read this again, I'm sorry. Thank you for the short insults. Insult. Go ahead.
Sorry, D.
We'll never do that, D.
From northwest Europe, the Israel tribes gradually migrated into Britain as Angles, Saxons, Celts, Jutes, Danes, etc.
Right, so Danes, Jutes, Celts, we go over this. Well, we're going to touch this again. We're going to touch on this again once we get past Rome, because the history of Rome and the post-Rome history is heavy. Deep. Let's read on.
The Welsh came as the Cymri.
I think it's Cymri, yeah. Go ahead.
Cymri. This name, it is believed, having originated from King Omri.
You know King Omri. King Omri is the father of King Ahab. And his wife's name was Jezebel. That's who King Omri is. He's the Omride dynasty. Go ahead.
The founder of Samaria, capital of Israel. Mm-hmm. The Assyrians called the Israelites captives
The Assyrians.
The Assyrians called the Israelite captive Beth Omri.
Beth means house of. So the Assyrians called the Israelite captives. Remember the Northern Kingdom, the Assyrians overthrew them, removed them from the land, and put them in foreign lands. And then eventually they migrated from those lands, cities to the Medes, and migrated further up and became what? Scythians. We went over this before. So the Assyrians called the Israelite captives Beth Omri, go ahead.
Beth Kimri.
Go ahead.
And the people of Gomri.
Gomri, it goes back to Omri or Kimri, go ahead.
After their king.
Go ahead.
The Greeks called them Kimari.
Kimurai.
Kimurai.
All right, so the Greeks called them Kimuroi, go ahead.
One of their settlements was known as Kimeria. The modern Crimea.
You know Crimea.
Russia.
That's the Scythians.
Yep. They're arguing about the land today.
Crimea.
Russia
Crimea
owns
is
Crimea
named
and
after
Ukraine.
us.
Yep.
Yeah, Crimea is named after us. Just like, what's the name named after us? What is it? Place in Spain. You have New Cartagena. That's New Carthage.
And there's another
place. Not Toledo. Is it Toledo?
Nah, Toledo means Israel too. It means I forgot because the Jews moved over there.
Right.
We named it. We named it. So all those settlements over there, we did name them.
I can't think of the place. Named after us.
And I think one of them is named after Hannibal.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
That's one place. That's after us. Gibraltar.
That's named after the general.
Gibraltar. Tariq.
Gibraltar.
Right. So it's just history. But go ahead. Continue.
The Persians, however, called Israel the Sake or Sakasini, sons of Isaac.
There you go. That's Scythians. The Saka, we went over this before. We went over this a couple of weeks ago about the Scythians of Saka. The Persians called them Saka or sons of Isaac, which goes back to Saxons. That's where the word Saxon comes from, Saka, sons of Isaac. Give me Micah real quick. Micah, shout out to Yakin for pointing this out. I think it was Micah, Yakin. That brought this to my attention.
Yes, sir.
Micah.
Where is he?
Micah.
Oh, I think it's 7.
Yeah, Micah 7. Yep.
7 verse.
The last verse.
No, it's Amos.
Is Amos or Micah?
The sons of Isaac. It's Amos.
It says house of Isaac.
House of Isaac. Amos 7 verse 16.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Amos 7 verse 16.
Amos chapter 7 verse 16. Now therefore hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, Prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac.
Against the house of Isaac. That's the Scythians. That's the Saxons, the Angles, the Celts, the Jutes, the Danes, the Silurians. These are Northern Kingdom. That's who this is. But the rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper. It's crazy. You know? So let's real quick go to what we got next. Give me that. You got that also, Jez. It describes their color.
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right, cool.
Bring that back up.
Bring that back up. So the Saka, the Sake or Saxons, Kimri, Kimrians, Kimbri, or Kimbri with a B, that's all Israel. That's all that is. Now we're going to get their descriptions real quick. And keep in mind later on in history about the Danes. The Danes.
Right, the Danes.
The Danes. The Danes.
The Scots.
The Scots, all of that. Scots.
Blow it up. So don't get confused. The heathens always had other names for us other than what God called us. So they put all these different names and titles on us and confused everything.
Now, when Esau took over and came in there, he took on those names too. Remember, he conquers people. He takes upon himself their identity. So they became Celts later on. But the original Celts was us. Because Japheth didn't call themselves these names.
Go up. You can't move it up?
You move it over. Maybe it's the other page. That's the bottom part.
Try the other page.
The other page. Yeah, that gotta be it. That's the bottom. That's it right there. That's it.
All right. I'm about to post the first page again. I need
That's
that
it right
first.
there. That's the first page. The second page is the bottom of this page.
Oh, all right.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, it says, let me start. By the Kimbri, that is the Dead Sea. You want me to start the second?
The top, yep.
Marusa, by the Kimbri. That is the Dead Sea.
The Kimri is the same people we read earlier. The Kimbri with a B is the same people. Kimbrians, Cimmerian, same people. Go ahead.
The Marcium, a Kimbris Vocary, Hoke, etc. Martum Mari.
Martum Mari, yeah, go ahead.
The word Marusa would be in the Welsh language.
Yeah, more Musa is more moose. It's more. It's the same people. It's black.
Right.
Go ahead.
More.
Black. That's what that means. Black.
And as the Welsh at the present day call themselves Kimri.
There you go. See? Call themselves, present day, white folks call themselves Kimbri. Kimbri with a B or Kimbri with a M-R-Y. It's the same people. Go ahead.
It is probable that they are of the same stock with the Cimbri of Pliny, and consequently that the Kimbri were Celts.
The Kimbri were Celts. Yes, go ahead.
But while so many ancient authorities are brought forward to establish the supposed Gothic distinction of red hair, the only passage which has ever been adduced to prove the dark complexion of the Celts
go ahead.
is the following from Tacitus.
Tacitus.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Who is describing one particular tribe of the Bretons.
Of the who?
Of the Bretons.
That's the Breton. The Saxons, same thing. Tacitus mentions Christ in his writings, and Tacitus mentions the description of the Celts or the Bretons. Go ahead.
That of the Siluri.
The Siluri. The Silurians, that's where King Arthur derives from. That group of people. Celts. Go ahead.
A people of South Wales.
Or Welsh. Or the Welsh. Go ahead.
The swarthy faces.
The what?
The swarthy faces.
Black faces. Swarthy mean black. Swarthy, the word swatzer means nigger. Swatzer, swats is black. Swarthy, go ahead.
And generally curled hair of the Silurians.
Generally curled hair is woolly hair. Black complexion with curly hair. That's black people. These are Bretons. These are Welsh people. Go ahead.
And their situation, opposite to Spain, make us believe that the old Iberians passed over and occupied those seats.
That's it. That's Northern Kingdom went over there and took over. The Iberians. Iberians goes back to the word Eber. Those are Hebrews that went over there and took over and named it the Iberian Peninsula. That's our land over there. Iberian alone is Hebrew. It's Eber. Same thing. I went over this like last year.
Right.
Go ahead.
Says, now it is upon this single passage that the whole fabric of the Celto-Gothic system rests, and upon this solitary instance have so many learned men founded their opinion
That
the next page.
That the top
Yes.
is cut off.
You have the next one? Yeah, try it.
Come on. That the
You have it?
all right. So read that there. Read that top part there.
Yeah, it said these extracts are sufficient to prove that the ancient inhabitants of Germany were of the Xanthus complexion. But there is not the slightest authority for applying this character exclusively to the Goths, for it is said to be universal in that country. And it will be shown that it was likewise that of some Celtic tribes, and that the term German comprised both the Celtic and Gothic inhabitants of the north of Europe. For Pliny, in describing the 5 divisions of the Germans, includes among them the Cimbri, who are allowed, even by Pinkerton, to have been a Celtic people. Pliny, speaking of the North Sea or the Baltic and quoting from Philemon, says that it was called. Oh, then that goes into the other page that we just read.
Okay.
So that's it.
Another part goes into how you had white ones. You had Edomites that fell under the category. And you had Jakes, but the Jakes are the ones from which are the original ones. Esau came later. So now, give me the blue highlight now, the blue one. Yep, blow that up. We want to read all of this. This is where it gets good. Because I mentioned earlier about Galatians. I haven't forgotten that thought. So bring it up, son. Bring it up. Yeah. And bring it up to the top a little bit. Move up. Go up. That's not highlighted. Let me see. Yeah, we have right there. We have used right there. So just blow that up, son. Make that bigger, please. We have no need to believe people of whom. Right there. Yep.
We have no need to believe that the people with whom the scattered Israelite, you can go back out. Make sure I got all of it. All right. Yeah, that's good. We have no need to believe that the people with whom the scattered Israelites
that's the lost. Go ahead.
Were associated were necessarily Israelites themselves. This leads us into the Teutonic theory. And if we had not the Bible, I should certainly believe in the Teutonic form of the Anglo-Israel theory, but then it would have little or no interest for us.
How old is this book now, this book? It's like
this book 1880.
This is an old book, yeah. So go ahead.
But then it would have little or no interest for us, for the prophetic and divine element in it would be wanting. With the Bible, however, before us, it is necessary to bear in mind that the gatherer of Israel is God, and therefore that no Hebrew immigration to Britain has been by chance, but under divine direction.
Israel will be scattered among all nations, including Britain. Go ahead.
So, whatever intermixture of races, certain, when we remember the scattering of Israel may be found in Britain, whatever rifts and remnants of Israel may be found in different parts, it must be true that Britain and her colonies contain the bulk of Ephraim.
Bulk of who?
Ephraim.
There you go. Bulk of Ephraim. Go ahead.
And the tribes of Israel.
And the other tribes. Go ahead.
His fellows.
That's the rest of them. Ephraim was the top. Go ahead.
So,
that's from which King Omri comes from. There's Ephraim, the lead tribe. Go ahead.
So that when we hear it said that there is the Gale of the British Isles and also of the continent, we need not believe that this is in favor of the Teutonic theory.
Right, the Teutons are Israel's. We found written in books that the Teutons were Israelites as well. That name fell on them too. Teutons. Go ahead.
For the Gaelic race,
the Gaelic race, not Gallic, but you have Gauls and Gales. The Gaelic race. Go ahead.
Which evidently came into Europe from Galilee and the adjacent lands.
See, they came from Galilee. Go ahead.
Contain many Shemitic people other than Hebrew, and surely the gatherer Israel knows his chosen race from another, and has brought to pass that which he ordained in the past.
We'd be scattered abroad among all nations. Go ahead, including Japheth. Go ahead.
That the Gaelic race contains some of scattered Israel is proved by St. Paul's epistles to the Galatians.
To who?
The Galatians.
See? So who's part again?
that the Gaelic race contained some of scattered Israel
That the Gaelic race contained some of scattered Israel. Go ahead.
is proved by St. Paul's epistle to the Galatians.
Go ahead.
Who, it can be seen, are Israelites.
You can't make this up, man. 1880s book telling you that the Galatians that Paul is writing to were Israelites.
Dang.
You can't make it up, man. Go ahead.
And we know from history that these Galatians have been in the west of Europe under the name of Gauls.
Oh, Gauls. Going back to Galatians. Go ahead.
Or perhaps Cimbri,
Or Kimbri. Remember Kimbri? Same thing as Omri. Go ahead.
which, after all, is one and the same thing.
So the Gales, the Gauls, Galatians are all Israelites. Northern Kingdom. We don't keep going. There's more. It just gets better and better as we read it on. That's not highlighted. The part that's not highlighted should be highlighted. Go ahead.
Sorry, D.
It's all right.
Yeatman says, page 152, in later times, the Kemric stream, fed, doubtless by the same route from Asia, increased so abundantly that the receiving powers of the British Islands became exhausted. And then they encroached upon the Gauls, and streaming through their country, once more returned to the summer country, as the triads called the sunny south, covering not only Italy, Thrace, and Greece in their career, but actually crossing the Euxine, and under the name of Galatians, invading the very cradle of their race, the beautiful and prolific Asia Minor.
Damn, go ahead.
At page 164, he says the same thing of the Gauls. This perhaps occurs through imperfect revision of the almost innumerable historical facts which that gentleman has crowded into his very interesting book. Mr. Yeatman also, at page 165, and elsewhere proves the Gaelic, Cimbri, and Scythian races to be really one.
See that? The what? The Gaelic what?
The Gaelic, Cimbri, and
Scythian.
Scythian races to be really one.
Watch this.
This admirably chimes in with our theory that the backbone of them all was Hebrew.
Israelites. All of them were Israelites. Cimbri, Gaelic, Gauls, Scythians, all were Northern Kingdom. All of them. Go ahead.
There are many statements in the book from which I have been quoting that are favorable to Anglo-Israelism.
There you go.
Some of which I lay before the readers of the Banner, who may not have seen the work, believing that much food for thought may be found therein. In a formal article, Banner, March 3rd, 1880, I stated Mr. Yeatman's position with reference to the lost tribes, but I will repeat it. He says the lost tribes are certainly in existence, but that no one without the gift.
That's all I want.
That's it.
So the point is that the Scythians, Galatians, Gauls, Gales, Northern Kingdom. Silurians, Celts, Danes, Jutes, Anglo-Saxons, or angelic sons of Isaac. Angles means angels, and Saxons means sons of Isaac. Angelic sons of Isaac. Esau ain't angelic. We ain't talking about you. You're the demonic sons of Isaac. You're the demonic son of Isaac, not the angelic ones. That don't apply to you. You are sons of Isaac, though. I'll give you that. You are sons of Isaac. It's Esau. I'll give you that part. But in terms of the angelic part, that don't apply to you. So now, where were we at? So that's the Galatians. I'm going to conclude on the Galatians part there. Let's jump into the Roman captivity pamphlet. We're going to be page 33. Page 33 of the Roman captivity pamphlet. All right. Page 33. I'll read along with y'all. Some of y'all have been emailing me, asking me, requesting these pamphlets. I will send them out eventually. Page 33. Let's read the top.
Yes, sir. When Salome Alexandra died, her oldest son, Hyrcanus, who was high priest, succeeded her on the throne as Hyrcanus II. Hyrcanus and Aristobulus are the last of the Hasmonean dynasty. Already his brother Aristobulus was leading an army against Jerusalem.
Right, so Aristobulus was wicked as hell. Changed his name to Aristobulus. He was pretty much a Greek. I think he was the one that crucified Israel, right? That was the guy?
Yes, sir.
Terrible.
I think like 800 or something.
Yeah, he was the worst. He was crucifying his own people. The worst.
Oh, yeah.
So this guy, you had two sons fighting for power. Hyrcanus is one. Hyrcanus, let me see. Hyrcanus was the high priest, succeeded.
Yeah, Judah.
Yeah.
Change his name to
Aristobulus. To Aristobulus, right. So you had, hold on, Hyrcanus, who was the high priest, her oldest son. as Hyrcanus II, that's his name, and Aristobulus. So Hyrcanus II and Aristobulus,
Them two.
those two are fighting for power. Go ahead.
Hyrcanus could not gather an army, and the one that was already there deserted him and went over to his attractive brother Aristobulus. Hyrcanus said he had never really wanted the throne and swore allegiance to Aristobulus. Aristobulus II.
Right. So Aristobulus II and Hyrcanus II. Hyrcanus was pretty much was weak and not very attractive. Aristobulus was a pretty boy and he was charismatic, but he was evil as hell, and he wanted the power. So Hyrcanus gave it over to him. Go ahead.
The Idumean, Edomite. At this time, there was a man in Jerusalem named Antipater, not a Jew by birth.
Remember, the first John Hyrcanus was the one who expanded the territorial expansion of Israel, and we took over Edom and said, listen, Edom, either you convert or we kick you and kill you out the land. This sect of Edomites chose to be converted, and Antipater and his wife came out of that sect. And Antipater is the father of the Herodian dynasty, which we'll be getting into in the class. Go ahead.
Both his parents were Idumeans and were forcibly converted to Judaism. Antipater was raised a Jew by religion.
Right, and that's what you so-called these Israelis, that's their forefather here. All right, go ahead.
Antipater sought power and persuaded Hyrcanus to allow him and an army of Nabatean Arabs to drive Aristobulus out of Jerusalem and restore Hyrcanus, his supposed friend, to power.
So Antipater befriended Hyrcanus II and tried to remove Aristobulus up from the throne by having the Arabs assist him in removing him from the throne. Go ahead.
Aristobulus, who was in control of the temple, sent Pompey a vine of pure gold as a gift.
So Aristobulus decided to seek aid from the Romans, a Roman general named General Pompey. All right, go ahead.
Pompey sent such a valuable gift back to Rome to decorate the temple of Jupiter.
We went over this earlier, how the Greeks had the same worship and defiled our temple and made it a temple of Jupiter in our own land, as well as in Samaria, a temple of Jupiter. In 2 Maccabees 6:6. Go ahead.
Antipater, on behalf of Hyrcanus, understanding the Romans' political situation, sought to convince Pompey that if he favored Hyrcanus, then he would eventually have control of Judea, another to boast of.
So Antipater was plotting. He knew Aristobulus was strong. Hyrcanus is weak. So he befriended the weak one so he could eventually overthrow him and take control over our land. So he needed Rome's help. He needed help from the Arabs to do so, I believe. Right? Let me see. Yeah, the Arabs to do so.
It was Confederate.
Right. Go ahead.
Unexpectedly, a group of Pharisees asked Pompey to rid them of both brothers.
Damn. So the Pharisees wanted to give it to both brothers, Hyrcanus II and Aristobulus. Go ahead.
And restore Judea to its original constitution, where the high priest ruled with the advice of an elected council.
Because they wanted power instead. They wanted both of them out the way so they can rule. Go ahead.
The iron fist of Rome. Pompey marched his army into Judea.
That's what we touched on Daniel 7:7 with the iron fist, the iron and so forth, the teeth. Same thing. Go ahead.
Aristobulus was afraid, so he fortified himself in Jerusalem. Pompey then besieged Jerusalem, and Aristobulus surrendered. But the Sadducees refused to open the gates. The Romans came in, and the Sadducees withdrew into the temple. The Romans attacked the temple and broke through the outer wall. The priests performed the sacrifices devotedly without giving any attention to what was happening. As one priest fell by the sword, another would take his place. About 12,000 Jews perished that day. When it was over, Pompey entered the temple, and even the Holy of Holies, truly no image inside.
So, give me Bible Atlas, page 268 regarding Pompey. We're gonna get some history on Pompey. This guy was a trip. Page 265. We're going to lead up to him. Give me page 265. Regarding Rome's rising into power. Bible Atlas, page 265. No, I'm sorry. You know what? Give me, this Antipater is the father of Herod the Great. Give me Matthew 2:1 first. Let's get some scriptures first before I jump into more books. Matthew 2:1. So Antipater is the father of Herod the Great. All right, Herod the Great.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 1.
Bring it
Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king,
Herod the king or Herod the Great, go ahead.
behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem.
All right, give me Luke 1 and 5. Let's see what Herod was called.
Luke chapter 1, verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, of the course of Abiah, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
These are John the Baptist's parents. But read verse 1 again. Verse 5 again.
There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea.
Herod was the king of who?
The king of Judea.
King of the Jews. How? Because he was a convert that was put into power by the Romans. I'll get into that soon. So Antipater is the father of this man, Herod the Great, who was the father of the Herodian dynasty. Now, let's read this verse. We're going to go through this real quick. So Herod the Great is the son of Antipater, who befriended John Hyrcanus II to gain power over our land eventually, which he does. We're gonna gloss over that. Read this here.
The rise of Rome. Dates 1000 to 900.
That's during the time of David and Solomon. Watch this.
Early settlement of Latin tribes on hills near Tiber River crossing.
The Latin tribes here are Edomites that started to conquer Japheth. That's the time frame. Start to conquer Japheth. All right, go ahead.
753. Traditional date of the founding of Rome. 7 kings of Rome. Increasing influence and dominance of Etruscans over Rome.
The Etruscans were the original black Italians that these Latin tribes above here overthrew. Because once Solomon won, remember it says 1000 to 900, that's Solomon's time. During Solomon's time, the kingdom was split. So once the kingdom split, the nations that we had in subjection gained power. They expanded. We split. Esau went up and conquered into Italy and conquered Edom, Japheth over there, and became the Romans. Okay, and they start to rise to the power slowly and conquer the Japheth by between 900 and 753 BC. That's when Esau took over the Italy part. When they took over the Greeks part, we'll get over that another time regarding the Greeks. Forgot what time of that was when they took over Greece. Oh, during the time of the Greeks was during the time, I believe, during the time of the Persian captivity. That's during that time. They start to migrate into areas of Greece, and like for example, a prime example will be with Haman. Haman gained status among the Persians, and Esau was in that landmass at the time. Okay, so read on.
509 BC. Expulsion of the Etruscan king Tarquin II. 534 to 509 BC, and establishment of the Roman Republic.
And the establishment of the Roman Republic. That's Julius Caesar. That's that time. Pompey, Crassus, what is it? Pompey, Julius Caesar, Crassus, whatever, the triumvirate. That's these dudes. That's the Roman Republic before it became an empire. Go ahead.
390 BC, sack of Rome by Gauls.
Now, the sack of Rome by the Gauls is when we, the Gauls, Israel, started to attack and freaking kick the Romans behind because the Romans are trying to expand their territory in these Gallic lands. These are Gauls. We read earlier, the Gauls, the Gauls, the Scythians is Israel. So we sacked Rome, or we attacked Rome viciously, okay, during this time, 390. Go ahead.
312 BC. Construction
because the Romans weren't prepared for us. They weren't expecting us to be that strong. So they got sacked. Go ahead.
I think wasn't Crixus the Gaul?
I believe he was. Spartacus, yes.
Yeah,
one of them were.
Yeah.
That was Jake. And Spartacus was an Athenian.
Remember, they were taking out slaves.
Yeah.
They had to find
We're going to get there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was us too. You watch Spartacus, that's your people. They had the Barcas and Spartacus, that's us. The Gauls and Spartacus, that's us. Athenians, that's us. All them slaves was Jake's mostly. We're going to show you. Go ahead.
312 BC. Construction of the Via Appia, first of the great Roman roads.
It starts to expand. Go ahead. Roman expansion. Go ahead.
264 to 241 BC. Roman colonization and conquest of the Italian peninsula. 334 to 260.
Start pushing Japheth up out of there. Go ahead.
From 334 to 264 BC. First Punic War, Carthage. Annexation of Sicily, 241 BC. Sardinia, 238 BC, and Corsica, 238 BC.
Right, the First Punic War. Hannibal's father lost that war. Hannibal, the Second War. Go ahead.
218 to 202 BC. Second Punic War. Hannibal's campaign in Italy.
Hannibal took over Italy. That's the Second War. Go ahead.
Defeat of Carthage.
He loses some Scipio Africanus defeats him, and in honor of him winning against Hannibal, that portion of land, the top part of Africa, Carthage, was entitled Africa after Scipio Africanus, and then eventually over time, the entire continent was given honor of this man's name, Africa. Originally, the top half was Africa, but then eventually over time, so I named the whole land after him. And it became Africa as a whole. Go ahead.
Rome occupies Spain. First Macedonian War, 214 to 205
because the
BC.
Greeks are still trying to fight back against the Romans, and they were getting smashed. That's why the Maccabees decided to seek their aid. Go ahead.
200 to 197 to 196 BC. Second Macedonian War. Philip V defeated. Rome invades Asia and defeats Antiochus III at Magnesia in 190 BC.
Antiochus III was defeated because he saw Hannibal's device, and because he had Hannibal as his advisor. Rome found out about it, and then they ended up taxing him. They taxed him a lot of money. He owed so much money to Rome that his descendants had to pay the tax, and they held his son Antiochus IV at hostage at Rome. Remember that? A hostage at Rome until he paid off that tax there based upon that defeat at Magnesia, 190 BC. Go ahead. That's Antiochus the Great. Go ahead.
And he didn't even want to take counsel from Hannibal.
He did not. Go ahead. He was jealous of him.
Right. He was jealous of him. He didn't want him to get the glory too.
Right.
From 171 to 168 BC, Third Macedonian War. Macedonia divided up into 4 districts.
Because when Rome conquered a place, he would divide in districts and set people over it. Divide and conquer. Go ahead.
150 to 148 BC, Fourth Macedonian War. Macedonian annexed as a province.
Roman province. Go ahead.
146 BC, Rome destroys Corinth after a Greek uprising. Third Punic War from 149 to 146
Hannibal
BC.
Other Carthaginians tried one last go against Rome, and Hannibal was gone. So that felt like that was a wrap. I think that was Scipius Africanus' brother conquered, was behind that success of the Third Punic War. Go ahead.
Carthage destroyed. Rome annexes the province of Africa.
Right, and Rome annexes Africa. That's somewhere in here, I believe. I'll share that the next page. Go ahead.
133 BC, Attalus III bequeaths the Attalid kingdom centered on Pergamum to Rome.
All right, so go to the next page 266.
I think that Third Punic War also, Deacon, wasn't that under Hasdrubal?
Hasdrubal was dead.
Right?
No, they were gone.
After Hannibal?
Hasdrubal was gone. This is, I think this is another sect of, it might have been Hasdrubal. Yeah, it was, but he wasn't part of that family.
Right, he wasn't part of the family.
Yeah, but his name was Hasdrubal, yeah, and he got smashed. It was bad. It was very bad. Once Hannibal was gone, it was no contest. Page 266, that's it? Wow, it looks brighter. Okay, blow it up some, blow it up. Move it up so I can see I'm sorry, move it down. Right there, blow it up right there. It's in that square. You see where it says captured between? Bring it up. It says territory under Roman control. There's the red lines. Conquered by 200, conquered between 200 and 148, conquered or bequeathed to Rome between 147. So you see where it says conquered. Bring it up, bring it out now, bring it out. You see over there, you see Mauritania. You see that orange right there? It says Carthage right there. See that? It says Africa. See what says Africa right there? Blow it up. Bring it in. See right there? That was the only part of the continent called Africa. Carthage. Then the white man said, make the whole continent Africa. That's why they have Africa in that small portion there. Because the whole continent was all called Africa. Just that portion that Scipius defeated Hannibal in. Because when Hannibal crossed the Alps of Italy, when he was doing that and took over, Hannibal went and conquered his homeland, Carthage, and he had to return back home. Okay? Because Hannibal wasn't there to defend it. And you see Sicilia, what's it say right there up top? Sicilia?
Yes,
to
sir.
the right? That's where Hannibal was in them was at. All right? And you see Syracuse. All right, so that portion of Africa, right, Utica, Carthage, Zama, that portion of Africa was called Africa, and that alone. Then over time, you see right there, Carthago, Nova, go up to the left. You see Mago, that's Hannibal's brother's name right there, Mago. Go over, you see Carthago, Nova means New Carthage. Move it over to the left. Move it over. That's Spain. When we took over Spain, we called it New Carthage. Or Carthago Nova, or Cartagena, same place. Okay? Saguntum, we had that over there. Gibraltar. Okay, that's later on. That's later on, though. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so now, let's go back to, you see where Africa was conquered. Go up to the top left, blow it up to the left, the top left. You see Vienna. Bring it up. Up. See that there? Gallia. That's Gauls. Then those Gauls migrated eastward. Move it over. Go down. They migrated eastward. Move it over. You see Ankara, Cappadocia. You see Galatia right there. And they named that landmass after Galatia. So they went from like France and migrated all the way over to right there, Asia Minor. And named it Galatia after Gauls. The Romans named it because we inhabited that whole, from the east all the way over, from the west all the way to the east, we had that whole landmass. The Romans started taking it over. All right, so now, you see, let's see, Rome defeats. Go right there, it says Hannibal. Go over to the left. Blow it down. See what it says in white, blow it up. The Roman general Scipio Africanus defeats Hannibal in 202. That's the Second Punic War. And in honor of his success, they named that portion of Carthage or that land Africa after Africanus. It's a Latin word. Okay? So I want now. Let's go to page 2. Go to page 2. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 8 and 2. 1 Maccabees 8 and 2.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 2. And that they were men of great valor.
They is Romans. Go ahead, verse 1. Go ahead.
It was told him also of
him is Maccabees. Go ahead.
It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which they had done among the Galatians.
The Galatians is us. They conquered us, Israel, the Galatians, the Gauls. The Galatians, it's called under the Gallic Wars. His wars with the Galatians is the Gallic Wars. Okay, go ahead.
And how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute.
The reason why this is amazing is because the Gauls were fierce. They were strong, and Julius became a general, and he overthrew them during the Gallic Wars, and that gained Rome's territorial expansion even further. Go ahead.
And what they had done in the country of Spain.
Maybe you just saw that. What they did in the country of Spain. They took over Spain. That's why it's orange there. Rome took that over from Hannibal and them. They took it over. Because Hannibal and them were mighty as well. So Judas is like, yo, these guys are strong. They beat the Gauls. They beat Hannibal. This is crazy. Okay? So the Maccabees is like, these guys are warriors. If they beat them, we can seek their aid, and we can help us beat the Greeks. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Go ahead. Lesser of two evils, I guess. Go ahead.
And what they had done in the country of Spain, for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there.
The silver and gold mines that were in Spain, that wealth amassed enough resources for the Romans to make themselves an empire financially. So Rome became a financial empire once they took those mines from Hannibal and them. That silver and gold, those mines made the Roman Republic very, very wealthy to the point where it was an empire. At this point, it wasn't called one yet, but at this point, it was an empire. based upon conquering us and taking our wealth. Likewise, on this side of the world, they conquered the Americas. America became a freaking superpower.
it.
It was a wrap. Once Spain took this over, it was a wrap. They took the land of Israel over, it was a wrap.
The same thing that made Rome a super economic power is the same thing that made America. That's why America holds like 3/4 of the world's gold reserves, which is crazy. Verse 4. And that by their policy and patience.
No, all I want is 3.
That's it.
Yep, so now get me Bible Atlas again, page 268. This class involves maps, so y'all got to follow along. This Roman history. The Roman history is very. It's actually more annoying than the Greeks. The annoying part about Rome is that there's too much things going on at one time. I got to touch on this and that, and Julius is fighting this guy, and the Maccabees is over here, and then you had the Gauls fighting over here, and then you had the Romans fighting over here, and it's a lot. And then Aristobulus and Hyrcanus fighting over here.
Chaos.
It's too much to cover at once. So I'm taking my time with it. So, you see civil wars and the expansion of Rome in the 1st century BC. All right. So what did I want from this exactly? I don't know. Let me see what I wanted from here. 268. Move it over to the right, please. The box right there. Move it over. Blow it up so I can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's the extent of Roman control. Territories added. Areas conquered by Pompey. Ah, yes, that's what I wanted. Pompey and areas added from 62 to 30 BC. So areas conquered by Pompey. I want that. So let's bring it up. So that's what? Orange. So look at orange. You see right there. You see on the orange, you'll see Pontus. So General Pompey, a Roman general, along with Julius Caesar. Julius was conquering. Move it over to the left. I'm going to show you what Julius was conquering. He had the Gallic Wars. Move it over to the left. Next page. Move it over. Yeah, bring it out. So you know where you're going. Bring it. Now go up to the green. Territories added. Go up to the green, to the top left. You should see Gauls. Right there.
Blow it up.
So, the big part. Yep. See right there? Gallia. That was us. Gallia. Then those same Gauls migrated eastward, and they founded what the Romans considered to be Galatia, because the Gauls migrated in their area also. Okay, you move over to the right, you should see it. You should see Ankara, Galatia right there. So we had that whole landmass. So from Gallia all through there, all the way to Galatia, we had all of that. The Scythians had all of that, or the Saxons had all of that. And the Roman and Julius had to go over there and conquer that portion to expand Rome's, territory. So go back to Gallia again. You see Gallia, go up again. Gallia, Gaul, all right? Gallia, Gaul, the Gauls. Northern, wild-ass, crazy northern kingdom. All right? That's what that was basically was.
So that's why Paul was going to the Galatians.
Yes, that's exactly what he was talking to northern kingdom.
Right.
Neither Jew nor Greek, Scythian, barbarian, that's southern kingdom. But Paul's giving you different titles for the same people. That's why I said you are all one in Christ Jesus, because you're all the same. All right? But we'll get into that later on. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but it's all right. You guys are going. Some of y'all got to watch this twice anyway. So you have Gauls. All right, now, what do I want from here? Go to page 272 regarding Pompey. I haven't forgotten about Pompey. We're going to skip 2 pages. Go to page 272. Oh, matter of fact, go back to 4. Go back again. I'm sorry. Go back to the last map. It said Pompey conquered. Go back to the orange. He conquered Pontus. Go back over to the right. It's orange. But Pompey conquered is orange. Pontus, go down. Go down to Syria. He conquered that too. Then he migrates downwards. So Pompey conquered Pontus and Syria, and Julius conquered the Gallic areas. Now, divide and conquer. Now, page 272. Go back to the next map, page 272. Yep, blow that up. And you have Pompey's siege of Jerusalem. All right. So you look, they blow it up some, blow it up. Make it bigger so you can see the words. You can cut that out. The Pompey siege. Just put the map in. That's all I want. And move it over. Yep, blow it up some more. Get the four. Oh, bring it in a little bit. Right there, perfect. What that say, Jazz?
Says Romans built a dike around temple fortifications.
They start to attack Jerusalem. Pompey begins to attack Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Romans position ramp, catapults, and siege engines.
Right. So they're attacking the walls because Jerusalem was surrounded by walls. Go down. So you see the temple right there. So you see temple. Where it says temple, go up. Right there, temple. And then you see it says Hasmonean Palace. Because the Maccabees were at the time, were ruling at this time. And Antipater was there too. All right. Now go down. You see, go down to, in chapter 7 of the wars, go down to the bottom of the page. Right there. Watch this.
In chapter 7 of the Wars of the Jews, the Jewish historian Josephus says that Pompey, the Roman general, admired the courage of the Jews as their city was being attacked.
Watch this. So as we're being attacked outside, we're acting as if this is business as usual on the inside. Watch this. Watch this.
He was impressed that they continued their worship services while missiles were flying at them from all directions. It was as if Jerusalem were wrapped in peace in the midst of this violence. Even when the Romans entered the city and took the temple, the people continued to worship and die beside the altar.
I read that earlier. He was killing them. These guys, Israel was being on some, they were being simple.
I think it's like 12,000, right?
Yeah, we read that earlier. They up there, he broke into the wall. He starts stabbing them. They're like, oh, send the prayers up. Stab. Putting offering on the altar, getting killed. Like nothing's going on. So he was like, you guys are impressive. You guys act like, you guys are pretending like I'm not killing y'all. Oh, okay, wow.
I'm going to kill more of you.
I'm going to kill more. You killed 12,000 of us.
It's no different from the time of the Maccabees. Remember, we refused to fight during the Sabbath day?
Yes, same thing.
Spirit.
Same thing. Same spirit. Same weak spirit.
But they didn't follow their footstep. Because the
Maccabees said, nah, we're going to have a decree. We're going to fight. If we continue like this, they'll kill us off the earth. They'll wait till the Sabbath day and kill us.
They had to put that in place.
Said, nah, we done with that. We're going to whip ass on the Sabbath.
That's right.
So now go up to the next page, page 273, just to show you. I showed you earlier how he conquered Syria, the orange. Blow it up. See the arrow right there? Go up. See where it says, it says Damascus. That's Syria. So he conquered that area. He migrated downwards, found Jerusalem, and boom, began to attack us. See? Jerusalem. Judea. Boom. And took over. All right? Now, blow it up. Read the words there. You read those there? Blow it up.
Aristobulus II challenges the rule of Hyrcanus II.
Right. Go over to the right.
Pompey captures Jerusalem in 63 BC, bringing Roman control to Palestine.
So niggas is fighting each other, and the white man comes in to take over stuff.
Hey, D, there's no difference with what happened in Northern Kingdom on this side of the war.
Yes.
Remember, you had internal tribes. You had the Aztecs and Mayans fighting against each other, and Esau just came in and slaughtered
Right,
everyone.
and then you had the Moors. They fighting over each other, and the Spaniards came in. You had the time when, what's the name? Hannibal.
Hannibal.
The freaking caught the Jakes. They didn't want to help him. Same thing.
And even bringing it up all the way to 1400s when the Renaissance did the same exact thing, man. 13-year war, same thing.
Now we know why in the New Testament Christ kept on talking about the two greatest commandments: love God with all thy heart and love thy neighbor as thyself. Because never love within a nation. There's always division amongst the tribes.
Oh, and King James family. They're fighting for power supremacy. And the Germans families took over. That's your Princess Diana, your William. That's them Germans. That's that's Prince William, George, and who else? I'm good. George, William, and
George,
Anne,
William,
Anne.
Oh yeah, it was always the black woman.
I'm not gonna say her name.
What happened?
You don't have to, D.
What was going on? What did you just do?
I stopped myself from saying bitch.
You just said it.
Oh.
How you gonna start saying? Hey,
I was gonna say black
cue the
people,
music.
but no, you can cut it. You can cut
said
it.
it already.
I already calmed myself. I had to stop myself because I was going to a very dark place.
But you said
I'm gonna help you out, D.
I said it, but I didn't say the whole
beach?
thing. Beach, black beach.
Nah, D, just say it, man.
Nah, man, you guys are bad
Speak your truth,
influence.
D. Yo, D.
Anyway, these black women married these two white
world
dudes,
has ended.
and that ended the whole King James. Of course, it was all divine design, but it just
Speak
the
your
black
truth.
woman decided to
Come
go
on,
and
D.
marry
Let it out.
the Germans. No. Let's go.
Speak your truth,
No,
D.
we're not there. I'm gonna jump ahead.
A lot of times, the black woman was behind giving us up to the enemy.
Yeah.
She was behind this. A lot, like during Caradoc and them, she gave him up to Rome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
She gave. It was a black woman behind that thing.
Caraticus, yeah.
And like Deacon is bringing up about King James, that family, black women marrying, but he I ain't gonna
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Don't get spoiled.
So what you're saying is the black woman's going to give us up again during the persecution.
Yes, sir.
Yes, most definitely that.
Most definitely.
Damn.
So we'll go to Roman pamphlet now. The Roman pamphlet again, page 34. Don't forget the information about Pompey, Judge. We're getting.
Yes, sir. I already got it lined up.
Open the door for you. All right. So let's see. We're on page 33, right? Page 33 of the Roman pamphlet. I said 34, right? 33. 33. Where did we stop at? You remember where I stopped at? Yeah, he gave
Iron Fist. I know. I remember where I'm at.
All right. They attacked. 12,000 were killed. So we're at Pompey decides in favor of Rome.
Pompey decides in favor of Rome. This was the end of Jewish independence. Rome would never let go of its prey.
Mm-hmm.
When Pompey was called in to decide for the Jews who should rule, he chose Rome.
Damn. He said none of you niggas is gonna rule. Rome gonna take over.
Incapable.
Yeah.
Aristobulus was deprived of any power in the government.
Aristobulus II lost power because he was fighting over his brother Hyrcanus II. He ain't win nothing. None of them. They both lost. Go ahead.
The Pharisaic party was totally disregarded.
The Pharisees wanted power, but Pharisees wanted both of them out the way. They had no power either. Go ahead.
The Jews were not to be considered.
You guys aren't important. Rome's going to rule for you. You niggas want to fight amongst yourselves. You're incapable of ruling each other. We'll rule for you. Go ahead.
Hyrcanus was chosen, and Antipater, now a friend of Rome, was to stand at his side.
So Rome said, oh, he's the weak one. Okay, Antipater, you'll be his advisor. Hyrcanus can maintain, he's a puppet king. And Hyrcanus and Antipater was his advisor. So basically, he was the king. And Hyrcanus was a puppet. Go ahead.
Hyrcanus now will be called Ethnarch instead of king, and Judea was now a Roman province of...
Damn. It was not Roman province of...
Syria.
It was not. Remember, Pompey conquered Syria first and worked his way down. So now Jerusalem became annexed to a Roman province of Syria. So now Judea is a Roman province. Okay? Go ahead.
Pompey even brought Aristobulus and his two sons to the Roman Forum in his march and triumphal procession to impress the people and the Roman Senate.
So he brought Aristobulus and his son to go, look who I defeated. Look at these guys. Look who he's showing them off. Look who I defeated. Go ahead.
All right. 64 BC. Pompey captured Jerusalem.
Right.
Leaves the Maccabean high priest Hyrcanus in power with Antipater as civil advisor.
So Antipater is sitting there behind the scenes plotting. He's a friend of Rome because he's an Edomite like the Romans are. So he's sitting there plotting. Hyrcanus is weak. He said, I'm going to take over somehow. I'm going to figure this out.
Deacon Sirach 12 in play.
Yeah, let's get that, please. Mm-hmm. Let's get that, please. Get that, please. Sirach 12. And verse 10, we're going to read down to verse 12.
Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Meaning they don't change. This nation has always wanted to usurp authority over us, conquer us, take over. That's how Esau's always been. Nothing changed. Remember, Antipater's an Idumean. He's an Edomite. They've always hated us. Go ahead.
Though he humble himself.
Remember, I'm your advisor. I'm your friend, Hyrcanus. I'm your buddy. I got rid of your brother for you. We good. I'm just going to give you some counsel.
Right.
Go ahead.
And go crouching. Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
You clean the glass off, the lens off, and look again. There's still dust there. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
He hasn't changed. The same Edomite murderer, hater of your nation he was then, he is now. He was then. He is today. Go ahead.
Set him not by thee.
Don't make him your advisor.
Lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
That's what he does. We're going to read it. Go ahead.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
That's what happens, and that's what happens eventually. So read on. Let's go back to the pamphlet again.
47 BC. Pompey is assassinated, possibly by order of Cleopatra. Caesar conquers Cleopatra's enemies. Caesar makes Cleopatra queen of Egypt. Under Julius Caesar, Antipater becomes procurator of Judea.
See? There you go. He becomes the procurator over Judea. Go ahead.
His son Herod becomes governor of Galilee.
His son Herod becomes governor of Galilee. See that? Take over. Go ahead.
45 BC. Rome. Caesar defeats Pompey's son Sextus in Africa and crushes a mutiny in the 10th Legion. He becomes virtual dictator of Rome. Caesar introduces Julian calendar and adopts his nephew Octavian as his heir. 44 BC. Caesar becomes dictator of Rome for life. Caesar is assassinated by a group of Romans led by Brutus and Cassius.
He gets assassinated. That's one of the most famous scenes. They start stabbing him to death. It was beautiful. They OJ'd him. So where we at?
Notes. Rome and Idumeans, same race. Antipater and Rome. Antipater and Rome from this time on worked together. Both were greedy for power. Rome supported Antipater, and he, in turn, fulfilled all of Rome's demands. Hyrcanus II, ruler and high priest, 63 to 40 BC. What's going on?
It was just a... What's that?
Went off the screen.
All right.
But while he's getting that, there's two tactics that Esau played upon us. As Deacon been going doing his history, the radio show, as you see with Esau, they play upon us when we attacking each other. Okay, that's one tactic that they use to take over and conquer us, and they always sit one of their people next to us because we are compassionate people.
Male or female, they use.
Right, male or female, it don't even matter. We're compassionate people.
No, I mean either male or female is usually in our corner.
Right
during they do this.
So there's two as we go on, you'll see these tactics played over and over throughout history that their strategy, and we never picked up on it in history at all, and kept getting overthrown, and eventually in slavery.
Yep. What happened? Why did think? So basically, Pompey at this point, Antipater's biding his time. He became procurator of Judea. And Herod, his son, becomes the governor of Galilee. So at this point, these guys are just slowly gaining more and more status. Remember, he was just civil advisor. Now he's procurator. His son's speaking governor. I'm just showing you what these guys do.
Like, what's his name? Haman.
Oh, yeah, Haman.
Haman was right up under the king.
Haman, the same thing with Haman, same thing.
And Deacon, wasn't his plot was to bring in bring Esau into power.
Yeah.
His people.
Okay, what's going on?
It's taking a long time.
Taking a long time here, yo.
Deacon asking what happened.
Yeah, so
The spirit of the IT.
yeah, IT spirit is
Left
jumping
Oklahoma.
around, jumping.
Jump Oklahoma, I come over here.
Damn. All right, so read that again. Read Pompey captures Jerusalem. While they looking for this for 30 minutes. Read it again. Procurator BC 64. Yeah, hurry this up, man. Hurry up.
That's what
Hurry
they
up and find
lost,
this.
right?
Deacon, that's what they lost.
Oh, you can't even read it because
I'll read off your
Yeah.
What did he do? It was just on the screen.
I think this black thing popped up and it just knocked everything down. I don't know what's going on.
Damn.
The computer deleted the pamphlet?
I saw it earlier.
So all of them are gone?
All right, well, I'll just read it. Do you want me to go ahead and read it?
Yes, please.
The devil is alive.
Yeah, the devil's in somebody's finger.
Yeah.
Computer, is it AI technology or something. The computer thinks on its own.
Not impossible.
Skynet and shit. Bro, how's that, man?
The computer took over.
Have
and
a
said,
computer, have a
"Delete."
robot come through here and shoot us up
Yeah.
out of a
So
portal.
next.
Somebody in
John Connor, where are you, John Connor? The hell
Actually
is
said
this?
a
somebody in
computer
Team
delete-
Viewer somewhere.
Yeah, right. The computer deleted
in.
this.
Damn.
That's the first
That's why I
time.
need. That's why I need. That's the Apple computer doing that.
Nah, D.
He said, thinking something. Oh, the computer deleted its own file.
Right.
It was just. Go ahead. Jeff.
Somebody bit their finger on there. But where we at? So Antipater and Rome. Antipater and Rome from this time on worked together. Both were greedy for power. Rome supported Antipater, and he in turn fulfilled all of Rome's demands. Hyrcanus II, ruler and high priest, 63 to 40 BC, was just a puppet in their hands. Actually, Antipater ruled, and two of his sons, Phaziel and Herod the Great, were local governors. Phaziel was governor over Jerusalem, and Herod was governor over Galilee.
Right.
Rebels are patriots. The Pharisees, Sadducees, and the people wanted to drive out all Idumeans, including the Romans and the converted Jewish leaders. Rome broke up the country's unity by dividing it into 5 administrative districts.
See that what Rome does? They divide it so you can't unite. Divide into different districts. They did the same thing to the Greeks.
Divide and conquer.
Right.
Many patriot Jews, zealots, hid in the mountains of Judea and Galilee to make surprise attacks on the Romans. The Romans looked upon them as murderers and hunted them mercilessly as beasts of prey. Rome and the Idumeans were obviously not popular with the Jews. That's it on that.
All right. So I mentioned zealots. Give me a second. 1 second.
Dang, so y'all really lost everything, huh?
Hey, and these are the same tactics that they do today. They did it in Greece, they did it in Rome, they did it in Spain, and they do it today. Like I said, amongst the Black Panther Party, they did it. They did it with the Bloods and the Crips.
Yeah.
Esau infiltrates with the FBI. Today, what they call the Alphabet Boys, the FBI, the CIA agencies. They infiltrate their black
Yeah,
organizations.
it's called Operation Black Desk. That's what it's called. Give Luke 6:15 regarding the zealots. Luke 6:15. Because one of the disciples is one too. So they say.
The book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 15. Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zealots.
Right, zealotes. Right. These guys.
Zelotes.
Right. This goes into zealots, I believe. Zelotes were a political movement. Hold on a second.
All right, D, we back whenever you're ready.
All right, please go there. Go back to it. Oh, gosh. So you got to get an HP. Apples. Apples erase righteousness. Just want to put that out there because Apple did that. I can tell it's Apple computer. Where we at? Thank you, Apple. Thank you, Apple. I mean, IT team.
That's an Apple computer.
It is Apple.
It's not there.
No, that's HP.
It's HP.
Oh, it's Apple. So go to favorite in Rome. Go there. Where'd you finish reading from?
Yes, rebels are patriots. That's right.
What happened?
Rebels are patriots.
Oh, wait. What page is that? What page is this?
Page 34.
Hold on. Go to Bible Atlas, please. Page 270. Oh, God. Page 270 now. You got to get Pompey now? You going to get Pompey? Well, let's read this first, and we'll get your drink.
Yes, sir.
Read this.
Events and personalities of Rome, 133 to 27 BC.
Events and personalities of Rome. Go ahead.
Dates, 133 to 122 BC. Land reforms proposed by Gaius and Tiberius Gracchus, increasing social tensions.
Wasn't Gracchus the guy in Spartacus? One of the villains, something like that?
Gracchus?
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Go ahead, next one.
112 to 105 BC. First war with Jugurtha.
Jugurtha, yeah.
Jugurtha, king of Numidia.
That was us. Go ahead.
Marius and his professional army threatens the power of the Roman Senate.
They were trying to take over Mauritania. That's part of Africa. They're trying to take it over. Numidia is like right next to Carthage, right there. They were trying to take that over. They didn't take it, though. Go ahead.
88 to 84 BC, wars against the
Mithridates.
king of Pontus. Sulla sent to deal with Mithridates. 74 BC, annexation of the provinces of Bithynia
and Cyrene.
Cyrene.
They took over Libya. Go ahead, watch this.
73 to 71,
Watch this.
slave revolt of Spartacus.
See? Slave revolt of Spartacus. That's their revolt. They fought against the Romans. So you had all of that going on. A lot going on at this time. Slave revolt of Spartacus. That show's based upon slave revolt of Spartacus. Go ahead.
66 to 63 BC.
Watch this.
Pompey conquers Syria. 64 BC. And Palestine, 63 BC. As part of the Eastern settlement.
The Eastern settlement of Rome. All right? Because remember, part of the Gauls is Western settlement. This is Eastern settlement. Go ahead.
60 BC. The first triumvirate, 60 to 53 BC. Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus.
Right, 3 powerhouses. Triumvirate is a 3. Julius, Pompey, and Crassus. Crassus was one of the wealthiest men in Rome. And Julius and Pompey were the Caesars. They were trying to gain some supremacy over Rome, pretty much, and make it stronger. Go ahead. But then eventually, there's a beef. Go ahead.
58 to 51 BC. Julius Caesar conquers Gaul. 49 to 45 BC. Civil war between Pompey and Caesar. 48 BC, death of Pompey. 46 BC, Julius Caesar declared dictator of Rome. 44 BC, Julius Caesar murdered by conservative elements of the Senate on March 15, 44 BC. 42 BC, Battle of Philippi. Mark Antony and Octavian, grandnephew of Julius Caesar, defeat Caesar's assassins. 42 to 31 BC, years of conflict between Octavian and Antony for ultimate power.
So Octavian, Octavian and Mark Antony are fighting for power. Go ahead.
Octavian, with command of Italy and the West, struggled with Antony and his consort Cleopatra, with their power based in the East for control of Rome. 31 BC, Octavian defeats Antony and Cleopatra at Actium on the coast of Greece.
Come on.
27 BC, Octavian given the honorific title Augustus, the beginning of the Roman imperial period.
The Roman Empire period. The Roman imperial period becomes, Octavian becomes Caesar, and that begins the Roman Empire period. Okay? And Octavian becomes Augustus, from which the month August comes from. All right? Because America is an extension of Rome. Like July is Julius, August is Augustus.
Right.
Get some more information on Pompey now.
Yes.
So Pompey eventually gets killed. The civil war breaks out between him and Julius. Pompey gets killed. Before we leave Pompey, before he dies, let's just delve real quick into his history and what Pompey did when he besieged Jerusalem and won it and took it over for Rome.
Get the Babylon.
We're going to read his Acts. We're going to read Babylon, Timbuktu first. So Julius dies, and Octavian takes over. We're going to get that switcher in a minute.
I know that's not the only page I got. Get page 84. Right there.
That, yep.
All right. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. All right. In 70 AD, General Vespasian, his son Titus, put an end to the Jewish state.
It's jumping ahead. Well, he wants Pompey, right?
Right. Go down.
It'll jump ahead into Vespasian. We go there.
Right. Yeah. So that's it on with Pompey.
Yeah.
Go back up. Go back up.
Yeah.
It says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
You read that part again? That's the part. Yeah, that's the part. Read that again.
It says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
So when he was besieging Jerusalem, we fled further into the interiors of Africa. We fled because Jerusalem is part of Africa. We fled further into Africa during the time of who?
From Pompey to Julius.
From Pompey to Julius, millions of us fled further into Africa and established settlements there.
That's before 70 AD.
That's before 70 AD, right?
Pompey to Julius.
From Pompey to Julius is before 70 AD. Then you had a higher influx of us running there also after General Vespasian and Titus took over, came in.
Right.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, keep going.
It said, all right, from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
Watch this.
The slave markets was full of black Jewish slaves.
Right, the slave markets from Pompey to Julius were full of black Jewish slaves. And afterwards, Vespasian and Titus. You got some more on that?
Yes, sir. So now, get me the book. Go to the group, online requests. I'll tell you what page, like second to last, maybe third to last. Page 50.
Deuteronomy 28. We're going to be going there soon. Deuteronomy 28.
Online, yes. Page 50. Say it in the top corner. Let me see.
Watch this. Page 50.
No, that's not it. Page 50. Pay attention. Page 50. Go up some more. Go up. Check that one.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. That it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, watch this. Blow it up. So, the
Go down.
slave markets are full of black Jewish, filled with black Jewish slaves in Africa. That's what they were buying in slavery. That's what they were buying in slavery. That's what they were buying. They were buying us.
All right, go up. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. That paragraph right there. It says, there were in Jerusalem a great number of synagogues to which the people resorted for religious instruction. One of these was called the synagogue of the libertines.
Ah, the synagogue of the libertines. Of the libertines. Go ahead.
That is such Jews and proselytes as had been Roman slaves.
Oh, hold on to that. Get Acts. Libertines. Get Acts. These are the people that Stephen was debating with. Okay, Acts 6.
Acts 6, verse 9. Then there arose certain of the synagogue.
Read verse 8.
Verse 8. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people.
Go ahead.
Then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the libertines,
Of the libertines. Go ahead.
and Cyrenians, and Alexandrians,
Cyrenians is Libya. Alexandria is Egypt. Go ahead.
and Alexandrians, and of them of Cilicia, and of Asia, disputing with Stephen.
Debating with Stephen. Next verse.
And they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake. Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
So these guys set up men to slander Stephen because they were debating him and they were losing. Read this now, the libertines.
Right. It says, there were in Jerusalem a great number of synagogues to which the people resorted for religious instructions. One of these was called the synagogue of the libertines. That is such Jews and proselytes as had been Roman slaves.
Wow. Roman slaves who had been Roman slaves. Go ahead.
But had obtained their freedom. Or were
gained their freedom, they gained their liberty. Libertines. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Or were the descendants of such freemen.
Or freemen. Go ahead.
Now, that's all I wanted on that one. Get the Wikipedia.
Wow.
Get the Wikipedia.
Wow.
Who were the libertines? Where they come from? How did they get into Rome? Blow that up. Libertines. Go down. Go down.
So the synagogue basically was a synagogue set up by ex-slaves.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Ex-slaves. Ex-Roman slaves of Rome. Ex-slaves of Rome.
All right, blow that up. Blow it up.
Libertines. Okay.
All right, libertines. Says the meaning of libertine in this passage is different from the generally understood connotation of a desolate person. In this instance, libertine refers to one has been liberated. That is a former slave or freeman.
Wow.
Those attending this particular synagogue might also include the descendants of such freemen.
Wow.
Opinion is divided as to the number of synagogues named here. The probability is that there are 3, corresponding to the geographical regions involved: Rome and Italy,
Wow.
Northeast Africa, and Asia Minor. In this case, the synagogue of the libertines is the assembly of the freemen from Rome, descendants of the Jews enslaved by Pompey.
Wow.
After his conquest of Judea in 63 BC.
Wow. Ex-slaves. Go ahead. Did it more?
Uh,
Well, that's all you wanted.
yeah, that's all I wanted.
Wow. Well, there you go. Well, read the rest. Read the rest of it. Let's see
Yes,
what's
sir.
in there. Let's dig some more in there.
However, taken closely together, the first name must denote the people of some city or district. The obscure town Libertum inferred from the title Episcopus Libertinensis.
Yes.
If you could go ahead.
Keep going there. I'm seeing something. Keep going.
All right, yes, sir.
Consequently.
Consequently, let me see. The Greek towns lying west from Cyrene would naturally be called Libyan.
Right. Libya. Uh-huh.
Consequently, these returned Jews, instead of being liberalized by their residents abroad, were more tenacious of Judaism and more bitter against Stephen than those who had never left Judea.
Wow.
So you just read there was
They're bitter against him. Mm-hmm.
Liberalized, I'm sorry.
Liberalized, right. So these guys got their freedom, but they were evil as hell too. So these are freedmen, freed slaves that established a school, and Stephen was cutting them. These guys, I guess they were wicked as hell, and they were bitter. And they were bitter towards Stephen. All right, so there you go, crazy. So that's some history for you. So these guys were slaves of Rome, freedmen. You hear about that? Even tell you got black men walking around saying, "My last name is Freedman because I come from a lot of black slaves that were free."
Right.
I'm Freeman. So listen, Boondocks made fun of that. I mean, Boondocks, his last name is Freeman. Huey Freeman.
Yes.
And
yes,
you
sir.
have Riley Freeman because they come from a line of slaves that got their freedom. So they're given the name Free Man.
Just like that state, Liberia.
Yeah, right. Liberia. Yeah, that too.
And then when you go into the history, those freed men, they became free, just like slavery here. They was manumitted.
Oh, wow.
They was manumitted.
Wow. Manumitted. Wow. So they did favors to Rome to get their freedom. Meritorious manumission. So, but basically a school of coons. So Stephen was cursing them out. Wow. Well, there you go. Give me second Ezra. What's that? 270 already? 270. Get second Ezra chapter 11, verse 12. Read this last week regarding Julius Caesar, who was killed by Brutus and Cassius.
Second Ezra, chapter 11, verse 12. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose one feather, and reigned over all the earth. And so it was, that when it reigned, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more.
So that feather died. It was 12 feathers. One reigned, it appeared no more. Go ahead.
So the next following stood up, and reigned, and had a great time.
It had a what?
And had a great time.
And ruled the long. Read on. 14.
And it happened, that when it reigned, the end of it came also, like as the first, so that it appeared no more.
And then the second reigned, and it also died. Now get chapter 12, verse 14, 15.
Second Ezra chapter 12, verse 14. And the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another.
12 feathers. Go ahead.
Whereof the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12.
And that Caesar, that king is Octavian. He's the most longest ruling Roman emperor ever. He ruled the longest. Longest ruling Roman emperor in history. Octavian, who his honorific name, Augustus. Augustus Caesar. That's who this is talking about. This is written by Ezra. Ezra wrote this. Okay? Long before this man was even born, the 12 feathers is written. It's documented. Okay? Now, give me Luke 2 and 1. Let's see if he's biblically documented. The longest reigning Caesar ever. Luke 2 and 1.
Luke chapter 2, verse 1.
Once Julius died, he became the ruler of the Roman imperial empire, or imperial system, governed, whoever. Go ahead.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus.
Caesar who?
Caesar Augustus.
That's Octavian. Caesar Augustus. Go ahead.
That all the world should be taxed.
So this is the second feather of Esdras. He's feather number 2. Feather 1 was Julius Caesar of the Roman Republic. Augustus Caesar is the Caesar of the Roman Empire, which became an empire based upon what? Taking the Spain's gold and silver and so forth in becoming wealthy enough to become an empire. That's what happened. Thanks to Pompey, thanks to Julius, and the wealth attained from them, and the conquering that they did, the Gallic Wars, Carthage, taking Jerusalem over, taking Spain over, they amassed enough wealth to become an empire. All right, read on. We're going to be down to 39.
And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea.
So he left Galilee because he had to go and handle his business with his wife, his father-in-law. That's what he was going to do. These two just pretty much took care of their marital business. So he left his wife's land to take her back home to his homeland to be taxed. Because he's from Bethlehem. She's from Galilee. Mary's from Galilee. He's from Bethlehem. I went over this a long time ago regarding the birth. What was it called? Not death and resurrection. Was that resurrection class? No, it was a birth. It was a long class about Christ's birth. I forgot what I entitled it. But I go into this history in depth. But basically, he left his.
No, I'm thinking it's called history or something.
I forgot. I know I taught a class about the Messiah's birth and how all the Gospels tie into it, whatever. Anyway, in this instance, Joseph.
Immaculate Deception?
No, I wasn't that one. I did a whole book. I don't remember. But anyway, whatever. Y'all find it. Something about birth. Anyway, something about birth. Just type in birth and I don't know. Anyway, so Joseph left his wife's family's home and was taking her back to his home where everyone had to be taxed under the decree of Augustus Caesar, taking her back to his own homeland, Bethlehem. Go ahead.
Which is called Bethlehem.
Right.
Because he was of the house and lineage of David.
That's where he's from. Go ahead.
To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Because they're jointly taxed because they're jointly married. Go ahead.
And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
So while they were there, she was ready to give birth. Go ahead.
And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped it in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Right, the hotels are packed because during this time was Passover. So they had to find it. There was no room for them in the inn to stay because it was crowded. It was packed. It was booked because it was a feast day. Christ was born during the feast, during the Passover. So that's why there was no room for them in the inn. Go ahead.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
Go ahead.
And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Song of Solomon real quick. Let me show you where he was born.
And Deacon the class, brother just posted time and death of his resurrection.
Oh, there you go. Time of death. I went over that in there? Okay. All praises. I don't know. I went over that. I went over that in that class. Time, death, and resurrection. Yeah, that makes sense. Time, death, and resurrection. Yes, that's it. Song of Solomon 8. Or is it 5?
It's an 8. 8 verse 5.
Yeah, 8 and 5. Yeah, read that one. That's it. Thank you.
Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 5. Who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved?
Her baby.
I raised thee up under the apple tree. There thy mother brought thee forth. There she brought thee forth that bare thee.
So so she ended up giving birth to the Messiah outside, under an apple tree. And he held him up. She was holding him. So that's where he was born. He was born under an apple tree. Go back.
Shown, Deacon, that him being born under an apple tree outside, meaning it was warm.
It was warm, yes. It was not wintertime.
It wasn't wintertime.
Exactly. And if the shepherds are abiding outside, by the way.
Exactly.
They weren't abiding indoors.
Yeah, black
in the
people
freezing
stay
cold, you
outside.
stupid ass Christians.
Where the music at, man?
Too late.
It's all right. The moment's passed. My anger's gone. It's subsided.
Don't worry, D. Come back.
They'll come back. Go ahead. Where we at?
I don't encourage your anger.
You're terrible, man. Where we at?
Bum dropper, man.
Speak your truth, D.
Where we at?
Luke chapter 2, verse 10.
So he's wrapped in swaddling clothes under the manger. Go ahead. Lying in the manger. Go ahead.
And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings for great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you.
And this shall be a sign. So we're going to see if this is the mother being a virgin or if something else is a sign. Read.
You shall find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger.
So the sign was not the mother being a virgin. The sign was the baby being wrapped in swaddling clothes in a manger. That's the sign. The baby is the sign, not the woman. Christians, go ahead.
And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And it came to pass, as the angels were going away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph, and a babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Because remember, the angel visited her and told her she'd bring forth a special child. So she just thought about it. Said, okay, remember this. Go ahead.
It makes sense why the wise men were visiting her.
Right. She understood why. Go ahead.
And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen. And it was told unto them. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising
of the child.
For the circumcision of the child, his name was called Jesus, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb.
Right. The angel said, you're going to name him Jesus. You're going to name him Yahshua, whatever name you guys prefer. The angel named him. Go ahead.
And when the days of her purification, according to the law of Moses, were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Lord.
Right.
And to offer sacrifices according to that which is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem, whose name was Simeon, and the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel. And the Holy Ghost was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Ghost that he should not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. And he came by the Spirit into the temple. And when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him after the custom of the law,
couldn't get him circumcised. Go ahead.
Then took he him up in his arms, and blessed God, and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel. You know when you read something like something just pop up in your head? I was like, okay, nothing.
What?
Nothing. We'll talk later. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those things which were spoken of him. And Simeon blessed them, and said unto Mary his mother, Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel.
Oh, read again. Rip from the top again.
And Simeon blessed them.
Remember verse 12. You should get a sign. You'll see a child lying in a manger. Now read the sign again. Watch this, 34.
And Simeon blessed them, and said unto Mary his mother, Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel.
This child is set for the fall and the rising again of many in Israel. Watch this.
And for a sign which shall be spoken against.
And a sign which shall be spoken against. The babe is the sign, not the virgin mother. That pagan garbage you guys believe in. The child is the sign, not the woman. Go ahead.
Yeah. A sword shall pierce through thy own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age, and had lived within 107 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about fourscore and 4 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and praying night and day. And she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord. and spake of him to all them that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned into Galilee, to their own city, Nazareth.
Right, but verse 39 is a lot of history involved in 39. 39 is not just they went back to Nazareth. That's not how that went. Things took place before they went to Nazareth. Matthew 2 fills in that gap regarding their return back to Nazareth. Remember, they left Nazareth or Galilee to go to Bethlehem to be taxed, but Joseph lived. But then they ended up going back to Nazareth again. Why is that? Because Matthew 2 explains why. But focus on the virgin part. Go back to Luke 2 again and read verse 22.
Luke 2, verse 22. And when the days of her purification, according to the law of Moses, were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord.
Because the days of her purification, according to the law of Moses, were accomplished. The days of her purification. Now, Mary was a pure virgin, right? You know what y'all be saying? Oh, she was holy and pure. Oh, mother of God, mother of the Lord. Right? That's what y'all be saying, right? All right. No.
Bring it out.
Speak your truth.
Bring it out, dude.
Get it all out.
No.
We're coming to the end times anyway, dude.
Oh, my God.
Might as well just put it all on the table.
Oh, wow, man. Get Leviticus. Oh, man. Get Leviticus 12. What was it, 15?
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 6.
Hold on.
Verse 5 it is.
Let me get there. Yep. Read that, please.
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 5.
Read verse
No,
3.
not 5, verse 3. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be
No,
circumcised.
read verse 1. Start from verse 1.
Leviticus 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed, and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of the separation, for an infirmity shall she be unclean.
Go ahead.
And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised.
The Messiah, they took Christ to the temple to be circumcised. Remember that? Go ahead.
And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled.
Go ahead.
But if she bear a maid child,
Go ahead.
then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days.
Now, go back to Luke again, real quick. I want to see what they offered. Go to Luke again.
Luke,
Did we read that yet? What they offered?
Mm-hmm.
Read it again. Luke 2.
Luke chapter 2, verse 24.
Yeah, read 24.
And to offer a sacrifice according to that which is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons.
Jump back to Leviticus again. So she brought forth this child. She had to offer these 2 turtle doves and a young pigeon, correct? She had to offer these. Now she's pure and holy, mother of God, right? Ain't that what we're saying? Read that.
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And when, actually verse 4, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days, and she shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled.
Under verse 6.
Verse 6. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter,
In Mary's case, a son. Go ahead.
she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering,
Watch this.
and a young pigeon or a turtle dove
For a what?
for a sin offering.
A what?
A sin offering.
Why? Ain't she pure and holy? She need that for. Why she bringing that for? Mary's pure, holy, mother of God. She was without sin. The Bible says she had to offer up a sin offering. Why? Say you Christians and Catholics are pagans, man. I'll tell you straight up and down. There's no reason for Mary to offer any of these sacrifices if she was a sinless woman. Or, a pure, a mother of God, a deity. That's to be pushing that doctrine, man. Saint Mary, it's madness. It's fucking madness. Y'all trouble, man.
Deep.
Y'all
What's
trouble,
going on,
man.
Deep?
That's it, man. That's it. I'm not going to that place. I'll start throwing F-bombs.
Built up.
See catfish.
Dick, that also proves that the scripture that says that he was born under the law.
Right. Yeah. Read again. Read 6 again. Read verse 6 again.
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 6. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest.
So she had to bring forth these sacrifices. She had to, because remember, we are by nature are sinful. We had to offer up animal sacrifice at that time for sins done either willfully or out of ignorance that weren't worthy of death. She had to offer up a sacrifice. So that mother of God stuff and pure and holy and this, it's madness, bro. It's straight madness. Even that when Christ said about, a woman said, "Blessed be the paps." Was it Luke 11? Was that Luke?
Yes, sir. Luke chapter 11, verse 27. And it came to pass, as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice, and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. But he said, Yea, rather, blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it.
See what Christ did? Took all the attention off his mom. And said, listen, man, keep the commandments. That's more important. Hell, the titties I was sucking in the house, baby. What's important is keeping the word of God. That's what's important. All the other stuff you're saying, I'm not listening to all that stuff. I'm not listening to that stuff. Real quick, give me John. Guy, you say something?
No, that's just another form of feminism trying to creep in.
Yeah, that's exactly what
trying
that
to praise
is.
the woman. The black woman is God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the black woman is able to produce child, like Deacon said on Clubhouse one day.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
You know,
I don't want to go into that, man. I was in a dark place in my life at the time. And
the woman pretty much was reverencing women for being able to bring forth children, saying that women pretty much deifying women in a spirit of feminism because they could bring forth life, saying that pretty much that she's a god. Deacon said, well, monkeys could bring forth children too. That makes a monkey a god or a mammal god. They bring forth children as well.
That makes you a mammal, I said.
That makes you a mammal, not a god.
Mammal,
exactly.
Not a god. Yeah, she was just basically quiet at that point. Yeah, I'm trying to find, is it John?
What are you looking for?
He calls his mother woman.
Oh.
John.
That's,
Water into wine. That's Luke 4. Wedding. The wedding. You turn water into wine.
Oh, that's right. Not Luke 4. Got it?
Hold on.
What is it?
Hey, but all those deities, anyway, worshiping the woman, they go back just like your Easter goddess today. That nonsense, all that is go back to Ashtoreth and Ishtar and Astarte, the goddess of fertility. That's what our people is in these churches worshiping today. All right, in these churches with they fancy suits and all that nonsense on. Okay, you worshiping the goddess of fertility today. That's what you worshiping. Has nothing to do with the Bible. Easter has nothing to do with the scriptures.
John 4.
It's not in there. You won't find it.
John 4 and what?
Hold on. No, that's another one. Huh?
It's John 2.
John 2?
John 2.
John chapter 2, I'll start at verse 3. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, They have no wine. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? My hour is not yet come.
He didn't say mother. He didn't call her mother one time. He called her woman. Even on the cross, he said, Woman, behold thy son. He didn't say mom, mother. He said woman. Why did he do that? Because he knew later on, people are going to sit there and say, oh, mother of God. He said, no, woman. Woman. Never called her mother. Never called her mommy. Never called her, none of that. Madame.
No, you never see that.
Woman. He called her woman. Because he knew you women were going to sit there, heathens are going to sit there and try to paganize or, pretty much make her a goddess. He was like, nah, woman. I'll just call her woman.
Well, the Catholic Church do.
The
make
Catholic
her
Church
that.
did that, of course, but
Yeah.
you know, you get the point.
Yep.
Hold on a second.
That's when Mary and Christ, give me that. I think it's in Luke 14 or so. When he came up to him and says, "Yo, your mother."
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, get that real quick. What is that? Luke 14.
Yeah, he said, "Behold, my mother. Behold, these are my."
So what is that, Luke? It's been a while.
Well,
since
it's in Matthew. It's in Mark. You can go to Matthew.
You got it?
Got it, Jess?
Officer Don? Oh, you want me to read?
Matthew 12:47.
I got it. Matthew.
It's your choice, Matthew 12 or.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 47. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples, and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Yep.
So show you that Christ always took away the attention away from Mary because, like Deacon was bringing out, you women, black women would try to deify the black woman. You try to deify Mary, primarily the Catholic Church. So he says, Behold my mother, behold my brethren. He pointed to the disciples, not his mother, because the only thing Mary did was what? Bring it forth. Many women bring forth children, but what's special, the most Christ was trying to, what he was trying to have us focus on wasn't so much the woman bring forth a child. What did she really do special but bringing forth? God put, it's the Most High. Think about it, women just don't bring forth out of their own decision. It's the Most High that puts the children. That child belongs to God,
Right.
not Mary.
Right.
We're just vessels.
Right. Get John 19:25. I'm gonna watch how heavy this is. I just caught it just now. 19:25 to 27.
John chapter 19, verse 25. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus, his mother,
So he stood by the cross. He's on the cross. He saw his mom while he's on the cross. Go ahead.
and his mother's sister,
His aunt.
Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by,
So the author John wrote when Jesus saw his mother. So John calls her his mother. Go ahead. Watch this.
and the disciples standing by, whom he loved,
Himself. He's speaking in third person. Himself. Go ahead.
he saith unto his mother,
Said unto Christ's mother. He said unto his mother. Go ahead.
Woman, behold thy son.
He said, Woman, that's your son right there. I'm leaving. That's your son. He's going to take care of you. John going to take care of you. Watch this.
Then saith he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. That's
Behold
funny.
your mother. He didn't say woman. He said, Behold your mother. He didn't say my mother. He said your mother. So Christ could have called her mother. He didn't. He called her woman because he knew the Roman Catholic Church would gain power on this earth and deify his mother. He knew that. They've always been the enemy, always been the enemy. So he made it clear, woman. Not downplaying his mother, but he did. He downplayed his mom because he had to. Because he knew the Roman Catholic Church was going to rise into power and deify her. That's why you see, who do you see in paintings? Mary holding Christ, baby Jesus, mother of God. Because they model her after Nimrod and his mother. That's what they did. He said, nah, woman. Read 27 again.
Verse 27. Then said he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her unto his own home.
He took her home and took care of her. See that? Because sisters always, regardless of their age, always had a man to look after them. Always. This is Christ's mom. She's an older woman. Remember, Christ is 30-something years old at this point in time, so she's an older woman. She ain't no young woman. She ain't no young woman. She's grown. So I'm just showing y'all that, again, he took all the credit from his mom, so no one can worship her, because he knew what Rome was going to do later on in history.
And Dick, just to show you, like when you go to Matthew 19, to show you he did respect his mother, though. Because Matthew 19, when the man asked him, what should I do to get eternal life, he read the commandments.
Right, honor your mother and your father, right. And he did. He did all of that. He said he was younger.
Right.
He said he left with them because he was subject to them. He understood his role.
Yeah, he didn't disrespect his mother.
Right.
But he understood.
Right. So we're going to end it on that. We're going to wrap it up on that. Hope you guys got some edification. There's a quick sidebar. But it was valid. So hopefully you guys have got information on the Galatians now. Now when you read the letters of Paul, when you read about the Scythians, Paul mentions in Colossians, he's referring to our people. You read about the Galatians, he's referring to our people. I mean, it's just clear cut, man. You can't get no more clear cut than that at this point. It is what it is. Libertines and Acts were free, were slaves of Rome that got their freedom through meritorious manumissions. And they were basically sellouts and got mad at Stephen and had him killed. There's a lot of deep history behind the book, the New Testament, man, a lot. So we're gonna delve more into it. We finally managed to we didn't get through the point with the Hasmonean family, what happened to them. We know that the Antipater, his Antipater married into the family. We're gonna get into that next week. We're gonna go into that. All right, so Lord's will. Until then, I'll see y'all next week. Shalom, most fine class blessed. We're going shout outs to the IT team a little bit, because y'all kind of all right. IT team, shout outs to IT team. Shout out to the breakfast team as well. Announcements.
Shalom, most fine class blessed. Let's give it up one more time for Diggins' class. That was a great class. Wonderful class. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channels. Don't forget, subscribe to our Hidden History Radio. Also, don't forget to subscribe to IUIC Philadelphia, and also to IUIC Philadelphia in the classroom. One more thing. Don't forget to donate on PayPal. If you are trying to donate to the video, which is our Hidden History, donate to IUIC Philadelphia at IsraelUnite.org. Also, if you are trying to donate to the Booster Club, send it to IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. Also, last but not least, subscribe to IUIC TV. IUIC TV. That's it.
To get exclusive content
from
the leadership of IUIC.
To get exclusive content from the leadership of IUIC.
There you go. Oh, man.
You did
All
good,
right.
man. I'm trying to get better. It's my first time.
Yeah, it's the first time. Oh, man. All right, so all praise to the Lord for that. Lozo, we'll see you guys. Yo,
Come on, let's sit it down.
We will see you guys next week. Captain Jerome will be his terrible self if he's here next week.
It's terrible.
And discourage us all. With that, we say shalom. You guys enjoyed the show. And until then, next week, Most High Christ bless. See y'all then.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I have an important message about your leaders in the Christian church. Your bishops, pastors, reverends, and ministers are all lying to you and leading you straight to damnation. The truth is, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical Israelites, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Jesus Christ is a black man with white wool hair, according to Revelation chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. We as the Israelites must keep the commandments in the faith of Christ to receive salvation, as it is written in Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. I've challenged and debated Christian authorities all over the world on these issues. Not one of them has been able to negate this truth. Your pastors have led you astray, worshiping pagan holidays and false gods, just as in the days of old. So join us on our mission to restore the true nation of Israel before the decree goes forth. The work is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Visit our website at IsraelUnite.org or call us at 855-484-4842 to learn more and visit our schools. Shalom.
When this life is over and it starts again, I wanna hear, well done, welcome, well done, well done, well done. I look to the hills where my help from. I just wanna hear, welcome, well done. I just wanna hear.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history, yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history, yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now we going back, Peter on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it?